Hey guys, what is up? Thank you so much for being here for my Insecure from HBO live show for this week. I'm getting like an error message on here that there's some kind of issue, so let me know if something looks weird. It seems to be working on my end, but there's also some kind of like YouTube message that there could be some buffering, so hopefully we can do this chat today. I really don't know. But if you're in the room, I see there's some people here. Go ahead and say hello if it will let you, and then I'll give you a shout out. So I have to say we are now in episode 5 of this season, and I think overall this season has been a little bit slow. I don't know what you guys have been thinking, but I really liked last week's episode, but I feel like the rest of the episodes have just been kind of average, including this one, which I felt like was really, really average. We did have the reappearance of Nathan, who is played by Kendrick Sampson, which if you watch How to Get Away with Murder, I think he was on like season 1 or 2. I really liked him. He was kind of like a devious person on How to Get Away with Murder, but he's like a cool person on this show. So with him returning to the show, I don't know if stuff's going to happen between him and Issa again or where they're going to go with that. Really not much happened with him in this episode. But the biggest thing that happened in this episode was the fight, which really came to a head between Issa and Molly, which I think a lot of us are kind of over this beef that's going on between the two of them. I just don't really understand it, honestly. But my first thought was, when Molly got mad and like walked away from Andrew, I think it's like beyond ridiculous. And it seemed like by the end of the episode, he was still cool with her and he was like apologizing. But I feel like, she just pushes stuff with him so much. And I feel like that relationship is just headed toward disaster. I don't know. She like got really mad at him because he helped her out with the block party. And then she like walked away from him. I don't know. I just feel like it was really rude. And I don't think that they have a very good relationship. So, like we've kind of talked about and predicted for the past couple of weeks, I feel like they're going to break up by the end of the season. Also, something I wanted to mention is that, I was correct with my suspicions from last week that Condola and Lawrence broke up. Condola acted really super, super weird around Issa when she saw her, like before the block party started. So I could just kind of tell by how Lawrence was talking to Issa last week that they probably broke up. Unfortunately, we did not have Lawrence in this episode, so that was sad because he's probably my favorite. Well, I love Issa, but he would probably be my second favorite character. So back to the fight between Molly and Issa. It was almost to the point where it was like one of them was going to hit the other, which would have been just absolutely freaking ridiculous. That didn't happen because someone shouted that someone at the block party had a gun, so then everyone started running, thankfully, because I don't think any of us wanted to see an actual physical fight between the two of them. Again, I feel like their beef is kind of fabricated and kind of weird, and such a huge player this season. It's basically in every single episode that they're having friendship issues. This was the worst that it's been. I'm kind of over that storyline. I feel like it was just super fabricated just to have some sort of storyline, and I just don't really care. And I do think that they will like reconcile and become good friends again. I don't know. It just seems kind of weird to me. But I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are about it. From previous chats, it seems like most people don't like where that storyline is going and just think it seems weird, and that's what I feel. But I'm also curious to see if you guys think what's going to happen with Issa's love life. Will she get with Nathan? Will she get back with Lawrence? Where is that going to go this season? Actually, just remember that I did not watch the preview for next week, which I wish I had because I'm kind of wondering where they're going with the storyline for next week. So if you watch that, let me know, or I'll just watch that when we're done here. But I felt like we devoted a lot of time this episode to what was going on at the block party and to like the musical acts, which was cool and everything, but you have to think the fact that these episodes are so short. So when you like devote time to like musical acts and stuff, it just takes away from this episode. And I felt like there wasn't much substance to this episode. I did really love Kelly's role in this episode. She is hilarious.